Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 12th through the 18th. And during that time, for most of the week, we have a waning crescent moon, and that's a time of stability and calm. We're coming to the end of the cycle for the moon, and it's a time for us to be thoughtful and growth oriented. We're going to kind of self reflect on what we've been doing this past cycle and what we might want to change and tweak or start on the new moon, because that comes in on the 17th. So, and an example of that I will give, my own example, is that I am awful at taking vitamins. I cannot. I've for years, every once in a while, I get into a really good routine of it and stay on it, and then many times I start off really well, and then I just forget, and they're sitting there, and I've tried every way in the world, so I keep trying that. Sometimes I do get on it for many months, and then something just throws me off. So that will be like something that I will start again on the new moon. What is my new routine? How I'm going to find a way to stick to it. So little things like that, little projects there. It could be a big project, but that for me is something that's important that I keep trying to be successful at, and I just get sidetracked. I'm not sure how. Anyway, this will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this particular reading is the answers you need are coming. Anyway, yeah, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there but it is a good example of how to use that new moon energy. So, there could be projects inner and outer that you need to work on. Anyway, it's a good time to do it. As I'm shuffling the tarot today, Sagittarius, my fun weekly reminder is that you keep a spiritual journal. And this would be, it's just a good little tool to have to look back on to see where you've been. You don't know, if you have goals about where you're headed, sometimes you do need to look back. Oh, I learned this thing and I've applied that to my life and it's been so positive. Or I applied this thing and it hasn't worked out really the way I wanted to do it. Let me work on that a little bit. So dreams are another thing to really journal. I was listening to a podcast this week and the guy was talking about premonition dreams, which is a topic I'm very fascinated by because I've had them. And there's no rhyme or reason. They come in whenever, and they've been uncanny in their accuracy. So he was talking about how he journals every single dream and has found that 1 year later they're coming true. So very interesting. I tend to only log the ones that are kind of out there, but I might try to just really start even just the mundane type dreams, because his were not that exciting, but he was finding that he's having these dreams and then the thing would actually come true a year later. So all right, I will stop babbling. I'm very babbly today. My apologies. Must be something in the water. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into this reading. The answers you need are coming April 12th through the 18th, and your present energy right now, Sagittarius, is the Queen of Swords. So the answers you need are coming, and they might come from inside your own head because you're feeling very logical. That's kind of the mood of the Queen of Swords. She's very logical, but she's also very feminine. Very. It's like the motherly form of logic that you would, as far as telling yourself something, you would be very kind about it. Very kind. Well, this is the very kind next logical step. So that's kind of the energy that you're in, is feeling very logical. Your current situation right now is Page of Cups. So you've got a sense of humor about whatever's going on with you right now, and that's good. Page of Cups is just a new way to be in an emotional way. It could be very jovial. He's got a fish coming out of his cup. I feel like he's kind of our joker in the entire deck. So definitely a sense of humor about things this week. At the root of your situation is the Seven of Wands. So you're kind of feeling like you against the world on something. Again, you've logically made your decision and you're kind of having a sense of humor about it, but you're feeling a little bit of pushback, maybe from people around you, friends, family, coworkers, whatever the situation might be. And just kind of hold your ground. The fact that that's at the root of your situation, it's just you like, no, I've made my decision. Everybody back off a little bit, right? In your recent past here is the Four of Cups. So there's something here that you have been a little bit disappointed with what the universe is bringing you. And why is that? Is that your own fault? Are you not really manifesting? Are you not really being specific about what it is that you want? Sometimes we forget to be specific. And so the general thing that comes in is like, okay, well, that's not that exciting. Well, are you manifesting in the correct way? So if that is in your recent past, maybe that's something that you can do on your new moon is no, I want to logically manifest this humorous, fun thing where I don't feel like it's me against the world. So what is it that you want to manifest? And go ahead and work on that for the new moon. Maybe that's something that you work on in this cycle. Because again, the answers you need are coming. What's on your mind this week? Page of Wands, a couple of pages here. So, kind of new footing on some things, new at some passion, new at being open emotionally. So, for some of you, this could be about a relationship. If you're single, it could be about maybe seeking that, and maybe the things that have been coming up in your past you haven't been that happy with. Well, who are you looking for? If you are single, and that's what I mean about being specific about your manifestations. Is there, are there qualities that you'd like to see that you're looking for? And really sit down and dream that out on some paper. If you're already in a relationship, maybe you're trying to renew your sense of humor with your partner or your sense of passion. So that can also be the case too if this is relationship related. What is just ahead of you this week? Knight of Wands, action on the passion front. But a lot of these younger, the knights and pages designate kind of a more youthful energy. And by that, I don't mean that necessarily you are youthful or immature, but it's like you're entering into realms that maybe you've never b- been in before, or that are new to you, right? That are like they're young to you because they're new. Um and new maybe within a certain situation. I hope that makes sense to you. So like I said, for some of you it could be, my example is a new relationship. So it's kind of new to like understand someone else's sense of humor or their sense of passion, what they're passionate about and what gets them excited. So very interesting. In your advice position here, Sagittarius, is the Two of Wands. So you're definitely thinking about your future, and that's good. And that's why I'm saying, too, if you've been asking questions and you're not getting the correct answers, if you're getting a little bit disappointed about some of the answers, are you being specific enough? Are you asking for the things that you really want of the universe? So, definitely work on tweaking those manifestations, and then, like even like a little vision board that's on your visor on your vehicle, just put it up there, pull it down, look at it every once in a while, stick it back up. That's there. Make sure those things that you want are really fresh in your mind. But really ask yourself, what is it? What kind of life are you trying to create for yourself? What is beyond your control this week? Wow, another page. Look at this. You're just trying to make all sorts of changes in how we are emotionally, changes in passion, but now also changes in communication. This could just be getting on a new dating app if you're single. I'm not going to be on this one. That's not working out. The people I'm meeting there are not working, but maybe I'll try this one over here. So, some new way of communicating, or this could just be being open to saying hello to someone that you might not, or getting out socially a little bit and just communicating a little bit better, and also just having a new way of thinking about it. Like I said, maybe a vision board. All right. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Well, look at this. Your secret desire, really? Look at this card. Four of Wands. I mean, that's literally the wedding card. So maybe this is about romance for some of you. So is it your secret desire to get to that point? Well, what do you want? What do you want? That's what you have to answer those questions. What do you want? Put it out there. Let the universe bring it to you. In your outcome position, Hierophant, seeking some spiritual guidance on this entire thing. Maybe that's why you're at a tarot reading. Maybe pick up a book. How it is to find that partner. And I really do feel like for some of you that is what it is. I feel like that there's maybe a lot of youthful people maybe watching this video right now and you're single and you're like, how do I find this person? We are in a weird world right now where you guys are having to use dating apps and doing all sorts of, it's just not how the rest of us did it. And we really don't understand, but you're going to have to do it on your terms in the world that we're in right now. So if you're seeking some kind of, relationship that's going to lead to something long term, you might have to try some of these new things. And it looks like you're very willing and open to that. But the answers you need are coming, but you do need to manifest those things and ask for what it is that you want. What is hidden from you this week? Knight of Cups. Look at all the royalty. And this is action on the emotional front. So that's hidden from you this week. But look at all these knights and pages all over the reading. I mean, this to me is a, it's either a new budding romance or a card of this is speaking to someone who's very youthful. So manifest what you want, Sagittarius, that's sometimes just what you have to do. And you have to think about it, to be specific. Let's see what the Soul Oracle deck says as a wrap up for you as you are trying to manifest. I feel like for some of you, this person. All right. Final word here from the Soul Oracle deck says to make necessary sacrifices. All right. What does that mean for you? Are there some things that maybe you're being specific about, some things that are impossible? Like, maybe you're thinking, well, they should be a millionaire or a billionaire. Let's be real. Let's be real. Maybe they should just have a nice job. Maybe their financial situation should kind of mirror your situation or be a little better, but let's not go off the rails, right? Asking for the crazy. They should be supermodel, good looking, and highly wealthy and have all these attributes. No, let's be real about it. Let's be real. What are the things? Are these things really important to you? I mean, don't you just want to meet someone that you can really be open and talk to and love and build a life with? I'm going to tell you that's better than someone who's a billionaire. So be careful what you ask for there. And narrow that down. Make necessary sacrifices. All right, self-care for you. Surprise. Sagittarius, release your expectations and be open to surprise. What am I saying? Release your expectations, be open to surprise, and manifest the thing that you want so that you're not so disappointed by it. So, I do feel like, again, if you're not a youthful person, the situation that you're involved with is new to you. That's really the way I'm feeling. For some of this is just lays out as a youthful person who's trying to seek someone to spend the rest of their life with. For the rest of us, again, it's just maybe a new relationship for you. So very interesting reading here, especially with all of the young royalty that's coming out. No real action on the emotional front, but you are keeping a sense of humor. But be open to surprise. I love that. The answers you need are coming, Sagittarius. So stick with it. Work on that manifestation. You've got the new moon coming up. Do that little vision board so that you're starting to manifest this daily by the 17th, right? So give that a shot. Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if this is resonating. I'm very curious to know who's resonating with this. Also, if you have questions, I'll answer those for you. If you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will help you find me next week, or you can come back and we can see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So thanks again, Sagittarius, for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.